Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of What SHU Doing. I am Aaron Burrell alongside my co-host Paul Guarino.
Let's go. I think we're a little underdressed with Justin with the suit.
We are. We have a very stylish Justin DeVellis in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
I did not mean to show you guys up like that. I didn't mean to.
No, I love it. Is he on What SHU Doing or is he going to GQ? We don't know. Justin, how are you doing today?
Good. Thanks for having me. This is great to catch up with you guys.
Of course, yeah. We have known you for a long time, but for the people who do not know you, let's get started. Where are you from, and how did you end up at Sacred Heart?
So I'm originally from Newtown, Connecticut. Grew up in Newtown. Went to Newtown High. Actually did my undergrad at Eastern, Connecticut, and then towards the end of my time there, I was like, oh, I got my business degree, and then I was like, man, I always kind of wanted to go into like sports broadcast and like do something with that. I didn't really know what, but I was like, man. So I started looking around. I saw Sacred Heart had like a upstart, the program was a lot younger than it is now, but it was like up and coming. So I kind of knew it was close to home. I knew some people who went there, and I figured, hey, like maybe I could go get my master's. And one thing led to another. Came here, had a tour, and did my accelerated year, and it was a great time.
Yeah.
Great time.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I got to ask you then, did your business degree help you in any way communication?
I'm
Or
trying
is
to
it helping you now with even potentially negotiating your contracts?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's hurting me.
Yeah.
I think it's helping me a little bit for sure. I got like a sport management minor in that, so because I knew I wanted to do something in sports. But yeah, I would say the business degree kind of helps a little bit when I'm at the negotiating table.
So you graduate from Sacred Heart, you get your degree. Let's talk about post-grad. What was that first job search like, and how did it go?
Well, it was tough for me because I was like so bad at it. Like I didn't know really what to do. Sacred Heart, the reason I'm working the job I have now is because of Sacred Heart. But when I was looking at the job search, I wanted to do like on-air stuff. And to do that, you needed examples. You needed to just get like as many reps as you could doing it. So I was working for CT Sports Now, which a lot of people had to do like internships through there and whatnot. But then after I did my internship, I was like, man, this was a really good spot to like maybe get some reps, maybe get some tape of me on the air. And so when I graduated and I couldn't really find a job really, because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I wanted to be on air, and like you don't just jump out of college and like jump on the air right away. So I was like, oh man, I got to get some of these reps. So I did CT Sports Now. And then when I was working for them for a couple of months, like late nights there, we'd go on every night. And I wasn't really doing it for like money or anything like that. I was just doing it to get the tape, to get the reps. And then I bumped into a guy who works at where I work now, News 12. And since I posted like every single thing I ever did, posted too much of my online like examples and stuff. I met him and he was like, hey, like I seen some of your stuff. You want to do some freelance stuff for News 12? And I was like, yeah, because I really needed to do something. And so I said, yeah, that'd be great. And then one thing led to another.
Yeah.
And I've been there for 5 years now.
No, that's awesome. We were just talking, like you got to get your reps in. You got to put your content out, like especially now, like obviously we're a little older now, but like back then, like social media wasn't even as big as as it is now. Like it's crazy. Like I can't even imagine being in school right now because like it'd be like content.
Yeah. No, totally. And even like they don't have CT Sports Now here anymore.
Yeah.
So like I'm thinking about if I was maybe like a year or two late and I didn't have that, like how my whole thing now would be different.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it would be totally different.
Yeah,
definitely. I mean, going into the on-air world is frightening at first. Obviously, as you get into your reps, you feel a little bit more comfortable. Let's talk about those early days in front of the camera. What was that like for you?
Oh man, I mean, it was tough especially because I'm like not trying to think of the word. I guess I'm kind of shy or like anxious, I think, or at least I was. Like I hated public speaking. Like even growing up, like hated public speaking. It's hard for me to even do it now. As I'm sweating. But no, it was hard. So like when you first do it, it like feels not natural. You know what I'm saying? But then you do it enough times, it kind of gets you out of your comfort zone. And then when you get to do it every day for work, like thankfully I get to do it every day for work. Like you're gonna get better at it regardless because you're doing it so many times. Just the repetitions.
Yeah. I don't know if you ever seen any of his Twitter clips where he's like dancing, or I don't know what Justin be doing some crazy stuff. I don't know. We're gonna have to tell Anthony to clip those into the little clips.
Dude, oh man, I don't even know. I don't even know how that started. To be honest with you,
I just scroll through my timeline and I'm just like, what is he doing today?
Well, and the funny thing is like when you see people out on the street, which is like my favorite part, is when people are like, oh, like you're the News 12. Like that's my favorite part. That might sound like
News 12 guy.
That might sound if it sounds like ego,
No,
like
funny.
self-centered, I don't care. But like, cause that's my favorite thing. Cause then they'll say like, they're not talking about, oh, you know, you did this really serious report that was great. They're usually like, oh, like I saw you trying to twerk, or like, oh, I saw. And it's like the funniest thing ever. It's like, yeah, my parents must be so proud of that. Yeah, that's me.
That is amazing. Man. So, I mean, obviously you cover a lot of things for News 12. Let's talk about some of your early first memories that really stand out to you. You know, what were some of those stories that you told that, you know, to this day kind of helped shape the storyteller you probably are now?
God, I'm trying to think. Yeah, you're saying like stories that I told early in my career?
Yes, that you learned the most from. Sometimes it's not the best story that you tell that you learn the most from. Sometimes it's the mistakes we make that, you know, we're like, you know, I should have maybe mic'd them a little lower and maybe the audio would have come out a little clearer, or anything along those lines.
Oh yeah, every single story I did, I think at the beginning was like probably bad. Like I probably had the guy's mic somewhere else. I didn't, you know, I spelled somebody's name wrong or something like that. But I will say, I mean, they trained me up real fast at News 12. I mean, they have a very like, this is the way you do things, and they got great people that are like, hey, this is how you make a good story, this and that. As far as like impact though, like I started working full time like right before the pandemic. Like literally like 2 months, like I was full time.
Yeah.
So then the pandemic hit, and then, you know, you didn't even go into the office. You're out in the field, like with all your gear, and you're covering stuff. You're wearing the mask, you know, like you're covering all these events. And then like the George Floyd, like all like the protests for that, and like that was a crazy time, like in the country.
Yeah.
And reporting those stories, I think like really like opened my eyes to like the world, and then the business, and then on top of that, you're dealing with like the pandemic. So it was a lot. So it definitely opened my eyes to that.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, obviously, crazy time. I guess like what else in the field? You go all over the state. Like, what is that like? And I know even sometimes you might be a 1-man crew or a 2-man crew. Like, what is that like too, to just like kind of do everything almost on your own?
Well, I would say you get to learn a lot about the state like pretty fast. You find your way around. Like pretty simple.
You've been to any cities you just never heard of in Connecticut?
There are some that I'm like, I've never heard of this.
There are some cities that are going to start catching some strays.
Yeah. Or like it'll be like, there's the town, and then there's like the little like the town inside the town, and you're like, what? Like I didn't even know.
You know, like Allentown, West Haven.
No.
Yeah, see.
Allentown.
Yeah.
No.
It's where UNH is near.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been over there. I just didn't know it was called Allington.
Yeah.
Dang.
I taught you something new there.
Yeah. I'm trying to think it off the top.
But yeah, that's what I was referring to, because there are little sectors that they call different parts. So.
Yeah. Or like Southport.
Yeah.
Like Westport.
Yeah.
Well, like is Southport is technically a town?
I don't think so.
No?
It's not.
Okay.
Huh.
I don't know.
I
thought somebody said it was, and that surprised me because I didn't think it was.
I thought it was.
It was.
I don't know. I thought it was just something they call it.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
South of Westport.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to do some research.
Right. Anyway,
I'm not good at like geography. I'm not. That's not. I can't. Oh, and traffic. That traffic. You deal with traffic a lot too. Like there should be a separate roadway for like
news people.
For sports people, like Friday night. Tweet at the governor, at Governor Lamont. We need a new roadway.
One thing when it comes to getting better as an on-air personality, it requires a lot of you watching yourself. That can be very awkward for a lot of people. Was it for you, and how did you overcome it if it was?
Oh, it's I don't want to watch myself either. Really? I never watch myself. if like you turn the TV on and like some of the boxes go straight to News 12.
Yeah.
And so I'll flip it on, and then I like hear my voice or whatever, or in the other room, my girlfriend's watching it. I'm like, turn it off. I don't want to listen to that. I don't want to listen. I hate the voice. I don't want to watch it.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I'm not even gonna watch this podcast.
That he's lying.
Come
He's
on.
going to watch it.
Come on, podcasts are different. And this
He will
nice
watch.
studio in here,
Yeah.
like
You got the nice lights.
you get to look at him, his pretty face, like.
Big head.
No, but I used to watch you too.
Yeah.
Like when you were on the air,
Yeah.
and like, taking stuff like from different people, like you watched how they conduct themselves like on the air, and you like try to take like little bits and pieces from everyone.
Yeah.
But I can't do like the up. Like a lot of people say, like I'll be moving around. Like I move around a lot. I don't know if that's because I'm Italian or I'm moving my hands or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is tough to watch yourself early on. It really is.
Yeah.
It is.
It's so interesting when you said that, because I remember some of our like very first conversations where you were like, listen, I'm getting into this. I want to like get, and I was just like, it immediately stood out to me because I feel like you were one of the first people to ever like reach out and just be like, listen, I want to learn. And I'm just like trying to get repetition. You were seeing like Paul and I getting a lot of work. And I was like, I don't know what the future has in store for him, but I know whatever it is, he's going to be great at it because
No, that's why it's cool to see too, because
deep.
Justin hit me up too, and now it's cool to see. Like I'm hitting him up to get interviews of my boxers. Like that's
Yes.
dope.
I know, and I love when I go on Twitter and I see like a story that you've done, and I'm like, oh,
The SHU connection.
Yes, no,
Yeah.
it really is cool to see.
Oh, that
like,
makes me feel good. Yeah, no, that is good.
Nah, it's amazing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, that's what it's all about. Like they were talking about the networking thing. Like it's all connected.
Yeah, it's like
you know?
it's like crazy. When I hit you up, I'm like, yo, I just have to hit. I was like, yeah. They're like, oh, you know anyone that news? I'm like, yeah, Justin's my boy. Like I just hit him up, text him, and it's like crazy. It's like weird. It's like cool and weird at the same time because like we're older now. Like we're at that point. Like it's like and it's like we know the people, and then it's like we're like old.
We are.
Like,
it's crazy because like
that's
we are
what
the
I
people
think
we
about
use.
too. It's like a weird cool. Like even seeing OC now, he's a professor here. Like that's weird, but it's cool.
Yeah,
it's cool and weird.
Are you a professor here?
Not yet. Yo,
Yeah,
Miller.
I'm trying to get it.
Miller.
I'm trying to get that.
Yeah, listen. This could be a class right here.
This right here.
Phenomenal.
Anthony, put us in. Put a good word in for us.
I mean, we got to do it. And Cordell, he still got to get me one of those shirts.
Which one?
He said when we were at Bobby V's, and we were doing the press conference, I don't know what shirt he had on, but we're doing the interview. I talked about his shirt. He's like, "Oh, you like this shirt? I'll get you one." I'm like, "All right, you get me one." He's like, "All right." So I'm not
button down.
Yeah, it was like red or something. So I'm not like rushing him or anything, but I just want to remind him that
I'll tell him.
For those of you who may not catch on to what is going on, Justin covered Cordell Booker's press conference, who is a boxer that Paul manages, which is also, I mean, I no longer live in Connecticut, but I was following all of this and I remember seeing I saw your piece on Twitter, I think it was when you covered it.
Love Twitter.
And you posted it on your Twitter, and I was like, this is really cool because I know how this came together. This is a Sacred Heart connection, and that is what I feel like is huge.
Yeah. I mean, you find out like so many people went here, and like that's also funny when you meet like so many. I just love this job. Like you meet so many people.
Yeah.
Like my thing is, I just love to know. Like as many people as I can.
Yeah, for sure.
And you find out that so many people went to Sacred Heart. I mean, the alums in there, like the companies they're working for, like they have the Sacred Heart connection. Like it's crazy how many people went here, and they're all good people. Like, they really are.
Yeah, I guess one other question I got for you is like, what motivates you? Because like we just said, like you reach out to us like when you were younger and things like that. Like, what motivates you to like be successful?
Man, that's deep.
Yeah,
that's a deep question.
Yeah. Yo, dim the lights.
Yeah. Man, I'm gonna like searching my soul for this question. Yeah. I mean, I have a really good support system. I think that helps like keep me motivated for sure. Like whether it's friends, family, girlfriend. Like I have 3 brothers. Like, they're all successful. They're all doing their thing. They inspire me a lot. My mom, my dad. Man, I would say it's like the other people. Yeah. Like, as weird as that might sound, like, I don't know. I just see other people doing great things. I love what they're doing in the space and for sports. And then you get to do stories. You get to interact with, all these athletes and all these coaches and media members. And I just like meeting new people. I think that this job helps with that. I would say that motivates me. Yeah. The relationship building in this. It sounds cliche, but which is crazy to think about. when I hit you guys up, all those years ago, like that was the start of something.
Yeah.
I just I knew I wanted to do something on the air, and I felt like I could start local. And then when we used to do this show in here, like those are guys who did it, like at other stations and whatever, and they were like good motivators. So I don't know, like on camera, like when I first started, it gave me like I felt good. Like I liked being on the camera. I liked doing it. Like it's a little bit of, you could put on an act, you could be like a character.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
We talk about getting on camera, and what advice would you give right now to someone, especially we're talking about social media, in the social media era, you post a lot. What advice would you give them? Like they have every outlet now that they can put content out.
I gotta post more. I get in those habits where I do it like so much, so often, and then I'll like, I don't want to post that much anymore. Like I don't know, it goes in like phases.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
I gotta get out of that.
Yeah.
I gotta get out of that.
It's hard though.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I go weeks like where I'm like, yo, dang, I put out a lot of stuff, but then like the next week I'm just like, nah, nothing.
Yeah. And like I'm struggling with like, I don't want to just put something out there to put it out. Like I want it to be good. I want to like rewatch it back, but I don't know.
Even like I'm picky with the photos now because now if I get the professional shots, and now I'm like, yeah, I don't want the iPhone shots no more.
Yeah, get those headshots, those nice shots.
Yeah.
Man, I forgot what we were talking about, but
just advice you would give to a young aspiring on-air talent.
Yeah, advice. Man, I would say reaching out to people, like as many people as you can, who, if you see someone that they're doing something that you like, or maybe you want to also do that, like reach out to them for not necessarily like, a job, but like, hey, like, what do you think of this? Like, be honest. I'm trying to do this X, Y, and Z. Like, do you have any advice? Do you have any tips? Like reach out to other people who are in the space too, because they could provide you with some great advice. Because like it's that networking thing. Like I don't know that much. Like I'm not. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. And it's like, so I'll just like I'll reach out to other people and hopefully go off of like what the advice that they've given me and stuff like that. I kind of like to the immediate area around me, like try to figure out like. Because then you could branch off from that.
Yeah, I think it's weird. I don't understand like why people are afraid to reach out to people or even like shoot cold emails or like people like even just he just asked about like getting an interview with Julius Chestnut. Like all you gotta do is reach out to him. Like he most likely will answer. Your alum and all that stuff. So it's like I don't know if people are like scared of rejection or whatever, but like obviously you're gonna get no's. We're talking about like interview process and all that stuff before. I just don't really understand it. Maybe it's my mindset's different, but I don't get it fully.
Yeah, like the rejection thing. Yeah. Like you get like I've gotten so used to that at this point. Like even with my job when I have to like interview like people on the street or whatever, like and they'll just reject you. But like you go in expecting like, like they're probably gonna reject me, but like that's not gonna stop me from, going to shoot whatever it is that I have to shoot or going to interview whoever. So I don't know why. I don't know if they're just because like who cares? Really, like you're either like at least you asked. Like the worst they're gonna say is no, and then you just keep going. But if you get used to like hearing people tell you no and being cool with that and just keep moving, that's probably a good piece of advice, I think.
Somebody once told me that think about it in a way that a baseball player, like a hitter in baseball, thinks about it. You could strike out 7 out of 10 times. But hey, you hit the ball 3 times.
Facts.
You're going to the
Hall of Fame.
Right, you're going to the Hall of Fame.
You're going to the Hall of Fame.
So you're going to get
Unless
more no's than you get yes.
I think he should be in the Hall of Fame now.
100%. 100%. I mean, even Bonds, like, they should be in. Like, my brother says it all the time. And it's a great point. Like, you can't tell, like, the story of baseball without talking about Barry Bonds, like, steroid era guys. Like, I think it's on. I think you got to let him in. I don't know. I think you got to let him in.
Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, sure. You cover Connecticut sports. Yeah. You're a Connecticut guy. We'll talk about some of your teams. Who are the teams that you root for? If you can disclose. I don't know if that's
Yeah, no, I mean I talk about how I'm a Mets fan on the air all the time and how it's just miserable. And how you're just
Are you a Jets fan too?
No, I'm not a Jets fan.
Giants fan?
Saints.
Okay.
New Orleans.
It's different.
Wow.
I root for the local teams with my job.
Yeah.
Like I have nothing against them. Like I want them to do well.
Yeah.
But I love. I mean, when they're doing well, I will be like, yeah, like Giants.
Yeah.
I kind of bounce. I kind of bounce. Like, but not baseball. Not baseball though.
Yeah.
Like Mets.
Yeah.
I'll go down saying that. But I mean, you just can't get your hopes up.
Yeah.
It feels like
Yeah.
you a good character development with being a Mets fan.
Yeah.
Because you're used to like rejection.
I gotta ask you this random question. Besides, obviously, the Connecticut Sun are a professional major league team. Do you think there's going to be any major league teams to come into Connecticut? Besides, we have a lot of minor league teams,
Oof.
obviously.
Well, weren't they just talking about soccer, right?
Yeah.
If somebody wants to build a
MLS,
stadium.
Yeah, MLS. I saw that.
I mean, I'm not. I wouldn't know. I'm not the person to ask about it because so much more goes into it. Like I wish
Yeah.
there were like 10 teams.
Yeah.
Like yeah, I'll root for every one of them.
Yeah.
But I mean the Yard Goats. Like
Yeah.
I get that they're Major League Baseball. Like and
Yeah.
obviously they get the funding and everything.
Yeah.
Love the Bluefish, but
Dead.
yeah. But you got to
Oh,
get
that's
the. I don't see
Well,
why
I
not.
heard the PLL might get a team here.
Really?
Cross.
Yeah.
But don't they all play in one specific?
No, they're changing it next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So they
To
might,
what?
That they're gonna actually have cities now.
Oh, they're not doing like they travel and all the
Yeah,
teams
yeah.
play.
I think they're still gonna do that, but they're gonna have city names now.
Okay.
They'll have a home base basically. So
Yeah. Well, there was gonna be that one lacrosse team,
Yeah.
the Hammerheads,
Yeah, failed, right? Or something. Or-
and
oh, they got acquired.
I think so.
ML.
That happened.
Yeah.
But they also announced their team. It was like February 2020,
Yes.
and then the pandemic hit, and that definitely like derailed a lot of their.
I just want
thing.
to see one other pro major team here. One. It could be
Like
could
what
be,
sport?
It could be. I mean, if they brought back the Whalers, that'd be lit.
That would be sick.
I think professional baseball. I feel like would be tough. I guess soccer. would be. I mean, we got there's just a bunch of teams around, so it's hard. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hockey though, I think
Yeah.
would be kind of the move.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
But
Harvard.
I mean, everybody
gonna say,
loved
where
the
would you put the
Whalers.
team?
Yeah.
Would you put 'em back
We
in
need
Hartford?
Bridgeport to open up the casino because then that open doors for a lot of different things.
There
Mhm.
you go.
Well, now is that? What about the sports book too? They're putting in at Total Mortgage Arena.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I saw that actually.
That
Yeah.
and then the casino. I mean,
If they put the casino, then that brings everything.
then we could go. Dude, I don't know. I don't know. Like I know so much goes into it, but
Well, now when we're
Hockey.
really discussing it, there are a lot of sports teams here.
There are.
yeah,
So you've got Hartford
Yeah.
Athletic. You've got
Yeah.
the Yard Goats, as you said.
you got the Sun.
The Sun. Cannot forget about the Sun. I mean, what do you mean?
Yeah, they're
we need a
good.
major team. You have a major team.
No, I
the
said
Sun.
that.
Mhm.
I said that at the very beginning.
I know. Shout out
Come
to the Sun. The Sun, when we
Yeah.
were like
Yeah.
first starting out,
Yeah.
like creating content, the Sun were one of like the easiest teams to work with
Yeah.
in terms of just like they were
Yeah.
so willing to just whatever you need, come help us. Like
Yeah.
come shoot, come whatever. Access to the players, we were at practice, all of it. It was
Dang,
phenomenal. Absolutely, shout out to the Connecticut
that's
Sun.
awesome. Yeah,
First class
shout out,
organization.
shout out, Sun.
Uh,
They win the East like
Yeah,
every
it's,
year.
It's so annoying. I
Right?
want them to win so bad because it's literally even when we were growing up, like they were this good too, and they can't get over the hump to win the championship. It's
Mhm.
crazy.
they won it with was
No, they never won it.
Oh, they never won it.
No, that's why too. That'll be the first major team to win a championship too. Connecticut.
That's crazy.
That'd be sweet.
I know you cover a lot of Connecticut high school athletes. So, who are some Connecticut high school athletes that people should look out for?
Good question.
Yeah, I'm gonna take some notes too.
Yeah, putting me on the spot here.
PG's like NIL.
Yeah. Hey, you do this every day. You should know some of the athletes. No, I mean football is the best.
Mhm.
Like, no disrespect to the other sports, like fall, high school football. Like I played in high school too, so like
Mhm.
I have like that connection. Greenwich is just unreal right now.
Mhm. What happened to West Haven? They lost.
They lost
What
to
happened?
North Haven.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess North Haven kind of slowed it down, and they caught him.
I feel
caught
like
him in a trap
So I'm
spot.
from West Haven. That's why I brought it up. But I feel like every time
I'm going to see them tonight.
I feel like is it at home?
It's in Newtown.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I feel like every time the newspapers start coming out with them when they're high, then they lose the next game. I swear to God, it happens every time.
Get caught up in their own
Yeah.
hype.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that, and that was the worst too in high school. Like I
Yeah.
used to read everything.
Yeah.
Like I used to read
Same.
everything. Like
Yeah,
why
same.
aren't they putting me here? They're
Same.
sleeping on me.
Right. You reading the day of the game like, oh, I'm going off tonight. I'm going off.
That's even crazier because you guys like actually knew the reporters too.
Yeah. You're gonna make so many tackles tonight. Well, Staples.
Yeah.
Staying in Fairfield County. I mean, their quarterback is pretty good, Caleb Smith.
Okay.
He's a stud. Saw them last week. They played Stanford. I mean, Stanford I've seen a couple times too. Their quarterback, EJ Presley, like he's an athlete. And I'm pretty sure he's an underclassman. And he throws like a rocket.
Really?
This kid throws a rocket. And playing in the FCX tough.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you could be like 4-3, and those 3 losses are to like, Staples, Greenwich, and they're only by like, 7, 10, 14 points or whatever. So they're close games.
Yeah.
Like 20 point games can really be close.
Mm-hmm.
And then even right over here, Notre Dame Fairfield, their running back, Antoine Davis.
Okay.
He's a beast. Got to speak to him a couple times. St. Joe's, I mean, their soccer, Alexa Pino, pretty sure she's going to Boston College. I could be wrong, but I want to say it's that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We're gonna, if it's wrong, we're gonna have to leave it in there and show everyone how dumb I am. But yeah, she's nasty. Man, I'm trying to think off the top. I mean, there's so many.
You gave us a lot.
There's so many good there are really a lot of good athletes. Like I thought like I was good like in high school, which I wasn't, but I'm thinking I'm so good. And then I see all these kids, like all these accolades, like dang.
Yeah.
And I'm going to see Newtown tonight, and they got some kids who are pretty good. And West Haven too. So I can report back on that.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah.
I want to go back to your career and now where you are now. If you could tell yourself fresh off of graduation, give yourself advice on graduation day, what would you tell yourself?
I would say just because you're not in a job that like you want to do forever, like just because it's not your ultimate like goal job, it doesn't mean it's not like valuable. Like you can be working up towards something, but all those like little like gigs and all those like jobs you get like along the way, like they end up like coming together, like molding you and the people you meet through there and the skills you acquire through there. Like that's really what matters. Like if you're not at the ultimate, and like, don't be so hard on yourself. Like when you start early on, because like Brian said in there, like it's a marathon, like, and your goals are going to evolve all the time. And so I would say, don't be too hard on yourself. Don't be afraid to reach out to other people for advice. And like, just because you're in a spot now, like that's not necessarily where you ultimately want to be. That doesn't mean it's not valuable.
Yeah.
I would say that.
It's great advice.
My long-winded answer.
That is phenomenal advice.
Like there's and like the stuff you do early in your career, like you think it's just like a random like gig, like they pay you $100 or something, like, and you travel into the city and you do some like announcing for some college. Like I had to go, and we still laugh about this story. This is like early on, like I have like nothing, like I haven't really done that many gigs. Like I was on some list that gave you like, oh, they send out an email blast, like, oh, they need a PA announcer here. It's like $100, whatever. I was on one of those lists. I didn't really have a full-time job, so I was just kicking around trying to like do something, trying to get my feet wet. And St. Francis, Brooklyn needed a play-by-play person for NEC Front Row for their men's water polo match.
Okay.
I have never watched water polo. I don't know the rules. But like the night before, I like sent it in. The guy said, yeah, whatever. Talk to the coach. It was like studying like water polo. And like I went there, I commuted into the city. Like I definitely spent more on travel than like they paid me. But I was like, whatever. And I still remember like you're watching, you're like, what am I doing right now? But the water's like, it's getting all over the table. Like you're right next to the pool. Like you're calling this game with people you never met before. Like it's completely out of your comfort zone, and it's just like hilarious to like look back on that now.
That's crazy.
That is.
What did you wear? I hope not a suit.
No, I wore a suit and tie. I think I
splashed.
still have the picture, just getting splashed. Like the equipment, I was like, there was no cover for the equipment. I'm like, is this okay? Like, is this supposed to be happening? But shout out St. Francis Brooklyn men's water polo team, which is pretty good. Apparently, they're pretty good. I don't know.
That's hilarious.
It's crazy because I played in the NEC and I had no idea that
Yeah.
they were.
I didn't
Yeah.
know
water
I
polo.
didn't even know they had the water polo there.
Yeah,
Right. I didn't know there was that many pools in Brooklyn for them to be practicing at. But
Well,
you learned something new.
there's at least one, and they were playing in it that day,
That's all I needed.
and water polo.
Yeah, interesting.
That's
Well,
so funny.
We like to keep it light as well. So listen, we
I
got
could
two
tell.
CT boys.
I could tell you guys love keeping it light. I love that.
Oh, I got a real light question for you right now.
Since we've got two CT boys, I need to know your top 5 Connecticut pizza rating.
Oh, I knew this was
Then
coming.
Then I got a
Paul.
good one for you after. I just made a new one because Dan Orlowski said that Colony was #1, which is not true.
You want all the smoke with me.
Colony is, I like Colony, but it's bar pizza. It's not real pizza.
Sure.
What's the difference?
It's not real pizza.
What do you mean?
It's not real pizza.
Sure.
It's bar pizza.
Okay.
It's not.
I mean, I kind of get what. I mean, I still call it pizza.
Right.
It is.
Colony pizza.
I get what you're saying.
I
Like I
get
get bar pizza.
it's
is
not-
different,
It's like a
but
bar.
it's still
It's like
pizza.
it's bar pizza. I don't know how it's to say it, unless you want me to tell you it's like snack pizza.
What kind of that pizza do you get from them?
No. It's not the all of it is the
Right.
same.
Right.
So
But you're not a Colony guy,
No, I like Colony. It's just not real pizza.
so it's not on your list.
No.
It's not on your list at all.
Not even a
Not
little
top
bit.
5. No.
Yeah, and I got to meet Dan the other day. He's great on Twitter. He's great, but he's got a lot of food. His food takes are crazy. I mean, they're out there.
Oh yeah, so that's why
Some of his food takes are out
good.
there.
So my #1 is Sally's. I always go back and forth with the next ones. Pepe's is going down on my list just because they franchised and it's not as good as anymore. Modern's good. I like Zupardi's in West Haven. They get highly rated too. You go check out the reviews and things like that. But yeah, I mean, then I could go more local places, things like that. But I'm not putting Colony up there.
I'm like a prisoner to like the pizza I'm eating regularly.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's so tough. I don't want to pick a one.
Yeah.
I don't want to pick a one.
What's your
Just
favorite?
give us 5. Give
What's
us
your-
5.
what's your
they don't have to
favorite?
be in any order.
Well, Sally's.
All right.
That's like
The best
it's
one.
my favorite
That's what I'm saying.
type of pizza too.
See, there is a type.
Yeah,
There's sauce.
Sally's is
There's
so good.
sauce.
yeah.
It's a sauce.
And I feel like I don't get it that often, so I also like kind of put it a little bit on a pedestal.
So I live in Milford, and they put it on DoorDash, and that, I'm like, whoa.
What?
I'm like,
In
oh, wow.
Milford, they have it on DoorDash.
Yeah, I'm like right on the Milford West Haven line. So
Oh,
Feel like that changes my search. For
Yeah.
the
Man,
it
next
takes, like,
place.
I'm actually gonna live in Milford now.
it just takes like an hour, but you just got to order it ahead of time. You should be like, I want to eat at 5. I'll order it at 4.
Dude, there is a place and this is nostalgia, but there is a place in Newtown growing
Yeah.
up. Newtown's got so many great pizza places.
Yes.
But
co-sign this.
Pizza Palace in Newtown, so good. I'm not saying it's better than any of the other spots.
chain,
but
right?
It's no,
No. Yes.
but
think I went there.
it's
Garlic
so
knots
good.
From Pizza Palace.
Fire.
Phenomenal.
Fire.
Yes.
Fire.
One of my roommates in college,
I think
Evan
I went
Kennedy.
there.
Shout out to Evan. Newtown High School graduate as well. I would
Oh,
always
okay.
go back,
Yeah.
especially like certain holidays when we would get in school when I couldn't go back. I'm from Florida, so can't go home.
Yeah.
He takes me back to Newtown. I'm hanging out in
Yeah.
Newtown. I'm
Yeah.
part of the town, so it takes me to Pizza Palace.
Drove to the flagpole.
Yeah.
Drove to the general store.
Yeah, the general store. He's like, "Do you want to go to the general store?" And I was like, "I didn't think that was a thing outside of movies."
Yeah, it's a thing.
And I was like, "Wow!" And I also coached in Newtown as well. So I I coached at Newtown Soccer Club. So
Dang.
yeah, I feel like I'm an honorary Newtownian.
I never even
Newtowner?
thought of it. Newtowner?
Newtowner. I like
Newtowner?
Yeah.
I don't know. I got to get the official ruling on that. I guess Newtowner is what you would say.
What's your mascot?
High school? Newtown
Yeah.
High School? The Nighthawks.
Okay, you're a Nighthawk.
The Nighthawks.
Yeah.
which it's like not a real hawk.
Right.
Apparently, someone wrote an article about it one time in like our local paper, and like did all this research, like nighthawk. Like we have like this big hawk like everywhere, like we're the hawks, like night. But a nighthawk is literally like a bird that chills like on the ground, like eats stuff on the ground. Like so, it's not a hawk.
All right.
So they gotta like figure out
You
like
need a rebranding.
yeah, like are you the nighthawks or are you the hawks? Because they're two different animals.
You gotta be the Hawks then. All right,
Sounds more
all right,
menacing.
here's my last question.
Oh, but pizza.
Yes.
All right, go
Sorry,
on.
Pizza
Yeah.
Palace. Yeah.
Sally's, right? Sally's is so good.
Yeah.
I love Colony. I do love Colony.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry.
That's
Sally's, Colony. I love Bar.
Ah,
Is
nah.
so good.
I don't like bar.
So good. I've only had it a couple times.
The mashed potato pie.
So I think mashed potato pie.
Phenomenal.
I
Thank
think
you.
that's like
Yes.
the only one I've had.
Yeah.
So good. God, I'm missing them now.
You been to Modern?
Sally's. I don't think I've ever had Modern. Pepe's is good, but I don't like put it like, it's good. Like I'll have it, but I
Yeah.
don't think it's like amazing
I think they just kind of sold out a little bit.
with the chain thing.
As a pizza purist, don't franchise.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Paul takes it very seriously.
Hopefully,
Very.
hopefully they don't see this. Trying to get some sponsors. What? Nothing.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, they're great. I mean, it's
Yeah.
great pizza.
Yeah.
There's so many good spots though.
Yeah.
There's so many
All
good
right,
spots.
we'll just agree that Connecticut has better pizza than New York.
And there's so many pizza places I'm trying to think of right now that I'm not saying.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna leave them out because they're gonna watch this
All right,
and they're gonna be like,
I'm
"What the
gonna
heck?"
challenge you. Okay, you're on the road a lot, right?
Yep.
So I know I don't want you to like get overweight or anything, but I think you should try a new pizza spot every time you go to a new town.
Ooh, I like that. I like that idea.
Side.
The
side
wordplay
hustle.
on Newtown versus from the kid from Newtown is next
Oh
level.
my god.
Next level. That's the only type of wordplay you get here at Sacred Heart University.
That might be my next move. You guys are writing my stuff for me.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
We were also talking about offline. Like the news is negative, pretty much. What if we just created a positive news station?
They have that.
They do.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Justin, throw it out.
But we could start. Could be ours.
Yeah.
The our
Yeah.
version. Yo, that's so funny.
Justin.
I got one last question.
Yes.
If you don't have a question, do you have a question?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. We'll close with
All
something.
right,
a little bit
Connecticut,
more serious.
Connecticut boy. We're going to go back to the quarterbacks. Will Levis. He puts mayonnaise in his coffee.
Mhm.
How do you feel about that?
I can't tell if it's real or not, or if he's just pulling our leg about it.
He got a whole Hellman's deal.
Yeah,
Did he?
which is
Yeah.
which is awesome. Like
Yeah.
he got the bag from
Yeah.
Hellman's
Yeah.
mayonnaise, but like
I'm sorry. Of all bags to get, I don't know if the Mayo bag is the one that I would necessarily want. I mean, money is money, so let me stop.
I want the ketchup bag.
I mean, that's better than the Mayo, but
the mix, the ketchup mayo mix.
No, just
Oh.
ketchup.
Oh, you want the ketchup bag?
he's like, you can keep the Mayo money.
I pitched them one time. I said I'm a chicken tender guy too. So
I'm with
Garden
you.
Catering.
I'm with you. Oh,
Garden Catering.
and whatever they sprinkle
Yeah.
on top of it.
All the sauces.
Oh, woo! Forget
Yeah, we might
it,
have to change
dude.
this podcast to a food
Oh
review
my
podcast.
God.
Yo, Miller, where's the? We should have told Miller to just bring us like a thing of all the Fairfield stuff around here.
Oh, a
Just,
platter.
yeah,
A platter.
I don't know. They had some pasta. It was good, but
We'll
like,
have to bring him back for season 2, and then we could.
yeah,
Here we go.
Dude, I love that. And people love the food. Like
We're
food
gonna
gets
get the
people
sponsors,
going.
yes.
Like on the socials, like on the everything. Like people are crazy about their food,
Yes.
which I respect.
So, all right, we're not sure. We're still not sure about Will Levis and his Mayo. We'll let
not
that
sure.
kind of rock. I mean, I don't know about why he would, but hey, to each their own. I'm not here to food shame.
would you
I
try
love
it?
coffee
Would you
so
try
much.
it?
I mean, yeah, I would. I would.
Really?
Because I feel like you can't hate on it unless you try it at least once. So I would try it, but
You want
I
me
don't want to
go-
ruin a cup of coffee like that.
Do you want me to ask Anthony to go get a coffee and some mayonnaise right now?
I would try it. I would do it.
Yo.
But
Alright.
you just got mayo laying around here.
dead.
Right. He's like, I have my handy dandy pocket
Packets?
Mayo.
Yeah.
They got their little.
I carry it just for this reason.
I always
got the-
keep a
opens
Mayo.
up
They
his
got the
on.
little.
pocket.
They got the little kitchen over there, so maybe there is some mayo.
They do have a
my
kitchen.
goodness. Oh my goodness. Justin, something we want to leave the students with something serious. What advice would you give to this probably next graduating class who are probably about to embark on a journey? What would you tell them about the journey that they're about to go on? What advice would you give them?
I would say if there's something you really want to do, like, you have to just do it. Because if you're trying to be someone like in this industry that you're not, like, it probably won't work. Because, like, you got to be into it. Like, you got to want it. You have to be, like, so motivated. When people aren't telling you to do things, you have to be motivated. So you have to be really into what you want to do, whether it's on the air, whether it's like editing, like shooting stuff, like whatever you like to do, like, you got to just go all in. Go all in.
That's phenomenal advice.
I like it.
Sounds cliche, but
no, but it's real advice. That is the only kind of advice you get here on What SHU Doing. With that being said, this has been a phenomenal episode. Justin, thank you for stopping by. You can find Justin on News 12 or on social media at Justin DeVellis.
Yeah, I think my Twitter is at DeVellis Justin, and then my Instagram is at JD on DA TV. JD on the TV.
Love it. I love it. This has been a great episode.
I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's good or not.
It's phenomenal. It doesn't need to be good. It's phenomenal.
Everybody's a critic of it. Whatever.
Thank you all. If you have made it this far with us, we appreciate you. This has been What SHU Doing. We'll see you next time.